up? We're back with a brand new stream. Welcome back. Every Sunday we do this. We're just doing this again, recapping last night, UFC Fight Night, UFC San Antonio, with Chito Vera losing the fight, kind of going how I expected it to go. Cory Sandhagen. I didn't want to say this in the video because every time I've said this thus far, it's never came true. But I was almost about to say, I think Cory Sandhagen's going to dominate Chito Vera. And don't believe me, but I was going to say, because every other time that I've said this, it's been the exact opposite. I've just cursed fighters. I said it about Jan. I said it about, I forgot who else I said it about. I said about Valentina Shevchenko. I said that she was going to put on a really good, like, Max Holloway type, Calvin Kattar type performance. Didn't obviously those didn't happen, but this time it did. It didn't have like that. It wasn't like that to that level, but it's still pretty dominant nonetheless. First round, all dominant from Cory Sandhagen, and in the second round, still Cory. And then I think the third round's around that. I think if you give Vera any round, it's that one. He started kind of picking up the pace there, and then if the fourth round, I gave that to Sandhagen, and then the fifth round I gave the Sandhagen, but thought it was pretty clear. Split decision was a little odd. It reminded me of the RDA and Paul Felder fight. Just totally different scorecards. Like, we're even watching the same fight. And yeah, a few really weird scorecards. When they go to Texas, those scorecards are out the gate. Yeah, not out the gate, but like out of this world. Like, if you guys remember, you might not, because it wasn't that big of a deal because the fight didn't go to a decision. But the Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira fight, the first round was a 10-8 for Michael Chandler. It's insane now. Like, I don't know what they're doing with the criteria, if it's a different criteria, but nonetheless, it is. I'm thinking about making a video on how to fix judging. I think I have maybe a better system. I gotta think about it, but let me know if you guys want to see that. But as always, I'm gonna be reading the chat. That's just what this is. Listening to you guys' opinion and just streaming for like an hour, 30 minutes, whatever. And we're gonna talk. So let's see what you guys are up to right now, and then we'll move on a little bit. Still can't believe one judge scored that for Vera. The judge was Vera's aunt. I might have to go in a minute. Hold up, not go, but like I might have to be right back. Real quick. So if I leave all of a sudden, the judge was Vera's aunt. It was probably the same judge that scored the Barber fight. Yeah, that fight was insane. Oh my god, was that the fight? I don't know why I have such bad memory. There was a fight that was, remind me, Chad, what was it? That was 30-27. That was just so, out of this world that it was the hell? 30-27. One of those fights. I don't really remember which one it was. Maybe it was the Barber fight, Macy Barber. Oh, it was Barber versus Lee. Yeah, it was that one. That was 30-27 is a bit odd. It was Dan Miragliotta. Was that really Dan Miragliotta? I was like, what the hell? What is he doing judging? I was surprised that Vera was so slow to get going. Yeah, that he normally is like that. That's something that I was saying in my videos. Usually he's losing up until that finish. So I expected Cory to kind of put the volume on. I even said, I expect him to get some takedowns. I feel like this fight was a little predictable. I was surprised the odds were so close. Yes, Vera's had a few good performances as of late, but if you look at it, it's he's really just catching guys, and that's how he's winning. Cory's a fresh dude. I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out, but that's just me. Walter, we need to cook, Walter. I love it. I love that you're here. Texas has always had horrible officiating. Yeah, so many bad. That's where the Dominic Reyes, John Jones fights happen. It's if that happens in Vegas, we could be talking about Dominic Reyes have beaten John Jones, for sure. In my opinion, I think Dominic Reyes clearly, and I think most people. Does anybody actually score that fight for John? And how? Surely crazy judging needs to be called out. At least an explanation as to what they saw. Yeah, 30-27, 48-47. That was terrible. I don't know how you saw it for. Well, I heard it like split decision. I was like, what? I was then a little nervous, but I was like, can't be, bro. I was like, what the hell are you watching? 48-47. I'm like, that fight is clear as day. Like, you can't give, in my opinion, like, you can't give even less than 3 rounds to Cory. Like, it has to be at least 4. I did give the third round to Vera because that big shot that he landed with the 1-2. But even then, you could have debatably gave that round to Cory. Let's see. Yeah, it was. From what I understand, Texas did not adapt the revamped unified rules of MMA from 2016. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely want to look more into that and see like why that is. But yeah. Do you think Vera had an injury? Usually people look slower, may have a concussion. Now, I don't think he had necessarily an injury. It's just like if you watch a lot of his fights, like the Frankie Edgar fight, he lost the first round, and that was an old Frankie Edgar. Dominic Cruz, I think I think he won the first round. He got like 2 knockdowns, and I think he lost the second and third pretty clearly. And I think even there's a debate. I could be wrong. I might be misremembering. And I did see the fight recently. I did give it a Vera, but I think there's an argument to be giving to give Cheeto that first round in the Dominic Cruz fight. But I think I might be wrong on that. I think I didn't give it to him, but I didn't give it to Cruz. But no, I don't think it's an injury. I just think he always starts slow, unfortunately. 41-year-old Holly Holm looked good. Yeah, I'm like, damn, she's number 3 in the world right now. Still, like, damn. But to be honest, it wasn't exactly the highest of competition. I wouldn't be surprised if they put her against like Raquel Pennington or Irene Aldana. I think they're gonna do probably Nunez Aldana, and then they'll probably do. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they do like Holly Holm and Raquel Pennington as just like a number 1 contenders fight. Or something like that. Put it on like a pay-per-view or put it on a fight night. Hopefully not a main event. I don't think Raquel Pennington versus Holly Holm is the main event of an Apex, please. I don't want to see that. Irene Aldana, I mean, actually, that would be a pretty good fight, Holly Holm. But Holly Holm, man, she's just been so grappling heavy lately. Even her last fight against Vera, a lot of it was against the cage. She did lose that fight though, right? Cory is the real deal though. He is always a contender, but never wins top 5 fights. Yeah, no, but yeah, I love Cory. I mean, Cory skill wise, I mean, he's just also really fun to watch. He's a guy that always improves. Goes like for example, he got submitted by Aljo, worked on his submission game, worked with Ryan Hall, worked on his jiu-jitsu, I should say, and improved on that massively. Like you saw with the TJ Dillashaw fight. He was just like throwing up a lot of submissions. He threw up that inverted triangle that was kind of I wouldn't say close, but it did look pretty not the best there, right? For TJ, he threw that up. He put in what the fuck? He injured his knee. He injured his knee in the first round of the fight, I believe, at the end of the first round, or yeah, it was the first round, right? So yeah, he's definitely improved. And then obviously the Piotr Yanni lost to him. Then he improved in the takedown game and mixed in those takedowns against Song Yadong, and you saw him a lot better. I said, hey, I thought that, Cory would shoot takedowns, steal a few rounds with those, but I didn't think that he would be so grapple heavy, like especially in the first round. Like you just saw him raining elbows on Cheeto, getting him going. That was it. I thought Cheeto was going to like improve. Like I thought Cheeto was going to be able to stuff most of them. I thought it was going to be like a stand-up battle, and I thought that it would be kind of Cory out-voluming. And a lot of people gave me shit in the comments for talking about Vera's defense, but to be honest, it was spot on. Like that was a lot of the thing was that Cory would throw fast, he would move to the back of the cage, and then be kind of just stuck there, and then the volume would just add up, and it looks a lot worse when you're running back. As we know, which I'm going to talk about later, the rest of the card with CJ Vergara. So it looks a lot worse when you're running backwards, and that's what Cheeto does a lot of his fights. Even against Dominic Cruz, who isn't exactly a power puncher, he's just running backwards instead of kind of just moving a perfect amount. He's just kind of just moving backwards, and just literally gives the opponent the center. Let's see. Even Sandhagen was like, "What the fuck?" I know, right? He was like, "What?" I probably was shitting his pants, bro. I would have been shitting my pants. Yeah. So I would have been like with all these bad scorecards as of late. A lot of terrible scorecards. Let's see. Okay. If Conor Dustin 4 happens, who wins? I would say Poirier, but the thing is, I think Conor's key to victory, and I said this obviously in the third fight, I would say it's the same thing, is like, I think if he is in distance, he should win the fight. But the other thing is too is that Conor is pretty good at like anticipating shots, but the thing is, like, I think he should probably play the distance game, even though I know they're like the same height, keep it at kicking range, and because I think that Dustin's boxing is just nasty. I think he's the best boxer in the UFC. So I think you should keep it at kicking range. Kind of, batter the legs a little bit, kind of like how Dustin did in that second fight. Land left hands. Now, like I said, I think probably Dustin would just win. If it's a stand-up battle, at least Conor has a chance, because we saw him have very little success because the fight was so short on the feet early. Because really, what lost Conor the round was he went for that guillotine, and then obviously from there Dustin got control. A stupid ass mistake by Conor to do that. But so far in that round, it was Conor winning. That like 1 minute section. So I'm not trying to gas him up or anything. I'm just saying it was that 1 minute section. He was doing pretty well out with the spinning attacks, the leg kicks that looked really hard. It looked like Dustin was really looking at those. He landed the left hand in like the first 10 seconds. So that's what I'm saying is like people say, look, people say that Conor's washed. He's not washed, yo. Like, look at his competition that he just faced. Lost against Khabib. Lost against Dustin Poirier. Like, Dustin Poirier is debatably the greatest lightweight of all time. You know what I mean? Some would definitely put him up there. I would definitely put him up there as one of them. I don't know about the greatest just because he didn't win a title. So yeah, that's just my opinion. I think Conor would probably win if he was just a little bit smarter. Not win that fight, but I think Dustin eventually did have some success, and as we know, Dustin does get a lot better as the fight goes on. But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about that fight. But it was, I think a fourth fight would be fun just because of the rivalry and the beef there. I would rather Dustin coast to Ultimate Fighter than Chandler. They would have been going back at each other. And plus, Dustin Poirier's, like, you see him, like, slapping dudes now when he's fucking talking about, I don't even know what they're talking about, but, like, at bars or some shit. Or at that parade. You guys seen that video of him, like, what do you call it? Of him slapping the guy at the parade that was, like, your wife sent me DMs or whatever, had the sign. Just slapped him. Let's see. Hi. What do you think about Dana's latest statement that Colby will fight even though Leon said he wouldn't? Yeah. So I mean, this is something that he did say. He did say last week. It kind of reiterated to the point and was like, yeah, basically, because obviously, as you guys know, Leon came out and was like, hey, I'm not fighting Colby. I refuse to sign a contract with him. I said this in my video, made a video about this, like Wednesday or something like that. Some people gave me shit in the comments because I think they didn't get what I was saying. Because I'm not siding with Dana White. I don't care, honestly. I guess I do care. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing the Colby fight, so I don't care. But, So I'm excited for it, but it's not going to end well for Leon, yo. Because first of all, look, if you're going to disagree, that's fine. But I feel like I wouldn't disagree necessarily, like, on a, not just, so first of all, I wouldn't disagree in front of the world and be like, take a stand basically against the UFC, take a stand against your boss, basically being like, yeah, I don't care what, you're basically saying, I don't care, I'm getting my way, I don't care what they say, I run the show, which is just kind of like, it's not, you're not being very approachable. I feel like he should have done this in private, and not just the world, do it on Ariel Helwani's show, which we all know how Dana feels about Ariel, so, I mean, I have a video on it if you guys don't know, but if you guys want to check that out, but, you know, I'll pause the stream and you guys can go check it out, but no kidding. Yeah, so I think it was definitely an doing it not just in the world, but doing it on your, you know, Dana's enemy's platform. That's crazy to me. Not good. Let's see. Yeah, there's no way that happens. What if? Yeah, I gotta be faster because I don't know what that was about. Merab doesn't deserve to fight anyone in a title contention. Cory should fight O'Malley. I don't mind that. That's a fun matchup. Cory versus, that's a fun striking match. I'd probably have Cory. I probably would have Cory in that fight. But yeah, Merab, to be honest, Merab should fight the winner of Adrian Yanez and Rob Font. Look, no hate to Merab. I like Merab. I know a lot of people don't like Merab. But I like Merab, but the thing is, look, you can't knock off these contenders. You can't have it both ways. You can't be like, hey, I want to fight these top contenders, and be like, oh, I don't want to fight for a title. You got to choose one or the other. If you want to fight for a title, fine. Then you could fight, then number one contenders fight. If Aljo's moving up, or you're going to fight Aljo, whatever the case is, which we all know he's not. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if he was going to fight Aljo, he could fight him after the Cejudo fight and beat Sandhagen. Winner of that fights Aljo. What they probably should do, look, here's how I think will happen. There's two scenarios because it's harder because, like I said, in you know, over a month, we're going to have a title fight. So Aljo wins. What I see happening is next fight, Aljo versus O'Malley. Maybe they do it at like MSG. Maybe they do it, you know, Abu Dhabi. I don't know. September, whatever they do. December, I don't know. They do it at some point. And maybe in the meantime, we have like a fight night, Merab versus Cory Sandhagen. Winner of that goes to fight for the title next. If Aljo wins against O'Malley, probably vacant title fight. One of them will fight, and they could even do an interim title fight between Merab and Cory. So basically, like if Aljo leads the division, the winner of that just becomes the champ anyway. They probably could do that, or they could just have a vacant title fight, maybe them versus another O'Malley if they want to give O'Malley another crack if he loses, or if O'Malley wins, the winner of that will just fight O'Malley, or if Cejudo wins, I could see them just giving Merab, and I don't think they like Merab's attitude, so maybe they just won't give Merab a shot. I feel like the next fight we're gonna see is Merab versus Sandhagen, but I feel like Aljo's going to leave. I feel like Aljo versus Sean O'Malley, if Aljo wins, is going to happen, especially if Cejudo wins, because there's obviously built-in beef there. Cory, a bit of an acid test in the division, in my opinion. I know what you mean, but until he decides he wants to fight for the title, no matter the champ, he shouldn't be fighting top guys. 100% agree. Yeah, 1,000%. That's exactly my point. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, hey, I want to fight Cory Sandhagen, I want to fight Sean O'Malley, but simultaneously be like, yeah, I'm not going to fight Aljamain. You have to fight for the, it's just not fair. And look, like the reason it's not fair for those of you guys that don't get it, it's not fair because, look, if Cory's the number one contender, yes, I'm going to just pretend Sean O'Malley's not in the picture. Cory Sandhagen would be next, probably, right? I mean, it makes the most sense. 2-fight win streaks, fought in the best in the world. Did fight Aljo and got dominated, yes. But, so it is a little bit of a harder sell, but he's the number one contender. Let's say we have Merab fight him. Then who's the number one contender? We don't have one. That's the problem, and that's what the problem is with him. I think he should probably fight. I don't get why everyone's so up in arms about this. If he's not trying to fight top contenders, I don't care. Like I said, I like Merab. I liked his performance. I think a lot of people give him shit. It wasn't a boring performance by any means, honestly. It was a pretty entertaining fight with him and Jan. It wasn't like fight of the year, but I thought it wasn't bad. So I think as long as he's willing to fight like guys like Adrian Yanez and Rob Font, like I think he should fight the winner of that. If Aljo's sticking around, I don't think he is sticking around, so we'll see. But I think Aljo beats Cejudo. I think then he beats O'Malley. Hopefully he'll keep the champion because my prediction was Aljamain to be the champion by the end of the year. I think. I gotta check. I was thinking about watching that video because I was like, one of them is Glover, so one of them's already wrong. And I'm trying to think what other predictions I had. John Jones, so far true. I didn't think I did women. Maybe I should have, in hindsight. But I'm getting off topic. Let's look more. Cory calling out Merab, aka real champion of the division. I mean, to be honest, argument to be made, he looked really fucking good. And even though this fight's not gonna happen, I'm really interested after that performance to see what how a fight between them will go. You know what I mean? That would be interesting. Sideman GOAT. I guess because I'm doing Sunday streams, Sideman Sunday. Bro, Dustin Jake Paul might be the fight to watch. That would be a good one. But the thing is that Dustin's a lightweight, Jake is pretty big. I'd favor Dustin. Call me crazy. I think Dustin's a really, really good boxer. Diaz on Conor McGregor. Oh, so you're wrestling now. That was from when I was talking about Conor. Jack, 30-27 Barber is a disgrace. Absolutely. We talked about that a lot earlier, which I'm going to catch up to the chat and then talk about the card, and then I'll read the chat again and talk about some of the rest of the fights that I liked. O'Malley deserves a smack. I mean, honestly, I think him versus Merab is not the fight to make. Regardless of who you think would win. I don't think it's a done deal that Merab would beat O'Malley, though. Because I think O'Malley has the power to get respect from Merab, where I feel like Jan didn't. I feel like Jan didn't respect Jan at all in the power aspect, and I feel like O'Malley has that to at least give Merab to stop going forward and be like, all right, I gotta think about how I'm entering. And obviously, if you're thinking about that with O'Malley, especially with a guy that's as short as Merab, it's gonna be difficult, especially when he's gonna be throwing leg kicks, side kicks, spinning attacks, trying to knock you out. So that's a difficult. I don't think it's a done deal. I'm not saying, I don't know who I would pick, but it's definitely not like 100% Merab, 100% Sean O'Malley. Well, definitely not 100% Sean O'Malley, but definitely not. But I don't think it's 100% Merab, and some of y'all might disagree and be like, oh, he's going to dominate O'Malley. But O'Malley's pretty good. I know he's a star, and sometimes, a lot of these stars are overhyped, like Patty and things like that, but O'Malley's actually really good. Where does Vera go from here, Walter? I think you should fight Jan. I think that's a clear fight to make. Both guys coming off of a loss. And in Jan's case, multiple losses. I feel like this is a way for Jan to get on track. The thing I don't like about that fight, though, I feel like it's going to be very boring early on because, as we know, both guys are very slow starters. And both guys also don't have so much volume. Who would I favor? Is it crazy? I want to say Jan, but, I don't know. I have no clue who I favor in that matchup. But, I mean, that would be a good fight because if Vera wins that, he's honestly back at the top. Because despite losing so many times, Piotr still has the respect of so many people. I mean, like, Cory is like a test for new fighters to see if they have minerals to go up against the top guys. I wouldn't sleep on Cory like that. Look, I think let's actually take a look at his resume. Yes, he lost to Aljamain. Dominated. He has since worked on his wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Take note of that. That was 3 years ago. Now, then next loss, he wins against Marlon Moraes. Knocks him out in the first round, knocks out Frankie Edgar in the first round. Then he fights TJ. I thought he won the TJ fight. Close fight. Yes, though TJ was on one leg, which is hella impressive when you're looking at this performance, by the way. Can we just be impressed by TJ? Poor TJ, man, for getting injured with that shoulder. Not saying he would have beaten Aljamain. I picked Aljamain to win, but damn, he looked. If that was him on one leg and with a cut eye, imagine him good. So that's what I'm saying, man. Just shout out to TJ. But where's it going with this? But then the next loss, short replacement to Petr Yan. I know that Petr Yan loss doesn't look as good, and now that we've seen him lose to like everybody else. But to be fair, it was a striking match. Yan lost a striking match. And maybe in a rematch, maybe it goes differently since now we've seen Cory incorporate takedowns. And also that was short notice. I mean, it wasn't too short notice. It was like a month, I believe. So, and I've heard rumors apparently that because Aljo and Cory have the same manager that Cory knew before Yan did. Don't know how true that is. If any of you guys could fill me in, I don't know if that's just shit talk or real. But But my point is if you look at his losses, they're to Yan, Aljo, and TJ. TJ, like I said, debatably won. And TJ had debatably won and Petr Yan short notice, and yeah, I know that doesn't look good in hindsight, but because he pretty much got dominated except for that first round. Like every round probably went to Yan. In other words, yeah, so I don't think he's a gatekeeper now. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Do you think Yan will get released if he loses again? I could see that happening. It really depends, because I could see them. The problem is a lot of people don't realize this. The reason like lower tier fighters, like let's say Alex Morono or Santiago Ponzinibbio or someone like that. The reason that they don't get released, and Sam Alvey, the reason that they don't get released is because they're not getting paid that much, right? Like they're getting paid $100,000 maybe. I mean, Paulo Costa was getting paid. How much was he getting paid or something? Like $30K or something, $80K or something to be on a pay-per-view. So imagine what Sam Alvey's making. They don't give a shit. They're like, whatever. Here's fucking $80K to be on a prelim. Or $30K, whatever. But when you look at Petr Yan, he was a UFC champion. His contract is a championship-level contract. That's going to be a lot of money. And at this point, what is Petr Yan going to be getting paid on championship money to fight fucking number 15 ranked guy if he hypothetically keeps losing? So that's why he's more likely to get cut than a lot of the other guys like Ponzinibbio and everybody else, because he's definitely going to be getting paid a lot more than them. He's headlined how many pay-per-views now? I think one. No, he's never headlined any pay-per-views. Whoops. I forgot. I thought he headlined the Abu Dhabi one for a minute. If Khabib and GSP fought at welterweight, who wins? I think GSP, to be honest. In hindsight of the Islam performance that we saw, I think just like a strong dude probably is the weakness. I think it would kind of be a stand-up battle, and Khabib's stand-up is a lot worse than Islam's. I think GSP wins, to be honest. At welterweight too, I think there's a reason that Khabib and them all cut a lot of weight, and why he never went up to welterweight. In my opinion. But yeah. What was I talking about before that though? Oh, about Yan losing. Yeah, I could see him getting cut. It would suck. But honestly, for him, it would probably be better. Look, I think it would be much better. He could go to the PFL, fight for like $1 million. I heard one championship, the pay is really good. Go fight at one and probably be one of the best there. They could make a DJ. I'm sorry, they can make a TJ, not a TJ Dillashaw, a Demetrius Johnson versus Petr Yan fight over there, and a lot of us would watch. Is Gon going to train in Dagestan? I think he should. I think there's other wrestling other than Dagestan. I don't think he needs to really. I mean, why not? I mean, if the offer's there, fuck it, do it. But I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's like, obviously you can do other wrestling. You know what I mean? Um, I just think he needs to train all year round. I honestly think this is true now that he doesn't train outside of training camps. That's where you're gonna learn. You know what I mean? And he is now focusing on grappling a lot more. We're gonna see, but I don't think it's necessarily. I don't think it's necessary totally to go to Dagestan. I mean, why not do it? Have some fun, you know. Well, not really have some fun. You're just training, but you know, why not do it to get better? But not the most necessary. No, not the most necessary thing, but sure, do it if you're gone. Have some fun. Are we gonna see IRL MMA content? What do you mean? I think Gon is too lazy to do that. To be honest, I don't think he's lazy. We'll see in his next fight. His next fight will be very telling because whoever it is, I don't care who it is gonna try to take him down. I don't know. I don't think there's anybody that wouldn't take him down if whoever he fights next. Tom Aspinall definitely will look to do that. Sergey Spivak definitely will look to do that. Wouldn't be surprised to see if even Sergey Pavlovich would try to do that if the striking isn't going so well with him. Whoever he fights next, I think will take him down. You know, Sergey does have the Sambo background, Sergey Pavlovich, so wouldn't be surprised to see that, see him try to take him down. So he definitely needs to work on it. I think we'll definitely get an answer in the next fight. Maybe I think they're going to Paris September 2nd, something like this. Yeah, I think it's September 2nd, what they said. So probably, my guess, I think, who is he going to fight? I think they're going to give him Aspinall, maybe? I'm curious, though, are we going to see IRL MMA content? What do you mean by that? But I think his next fight will probably be Aspinall. I don't know. I feel like they don't. I don't know. Is there any easy fights? I wouldn't mind seeing the fight that I want to see is Pavlovich versus Gon. But Pavlovich is fighting Blades. So who knows? If Jan and Vera fought if Jan and Vera fought, Jan is smart and would know how to attack Vera fast. His defense is to go straight back and cover and parry. I've been said, yeah, that his fucking defense is that, and everyone shitted on me in the comments. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." Vera has genius defense. Like I like Vera, but you know, I'm calling it as it is, buddy. But regardless, wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that Jan is smart enough to attack early because that was it was something that everybody's been saying since the Sandhagen fight. Like literally, he's always lost the first round. So it's always been a problem for him, and I think it's just he can't fight. I think he just feels uncomfortable fighting early. I think it just comes down to that. I wouldn't say it's like a smart thing. I think he knows. Is that he know? Like I think he knows, but to me, I just think he feels uncomfortable. But Vera feels uncomfortable too. I would favor Piotr Jan in that matchup. I think he could probably, with his pressure, take the kicks away from Vera, and then it'd be a boxing match. I don't think Vera's gonna go for takedowns, and Jan would go for takedowns. I think more likely. So I would probably go for Jan in that matchup, definitely, because like you said, even like Vera's backward motion, that would definitely help Jan with his pressure more than anything. Like you can't go backwards with Jan. And I think if Vera wins, it's by knocking him out, which that'll just kill fans. But I'm gonna be right back, guys. I'm gonna use the bathroom. Sorry, I forgot the mic. Yo, sorry. I realized that was probably just so weird that I was like, yeah, let me go. I gotta use the bathroom real quick. But I was holding it in for a while, and I just really had to pee, to be honest. Sorry, guys. What were the fuck were we talking about? We were talking about Jan. Yeah, I think I would favor Jan, though, in a Vera matchup. Patty, but the Batty is the same. I don't know what you mean by that, but sorry. Is there anyone at flyweight that could beat Moreno? Now that Figueiredo is gone, I think he's going to be dominant. Pantoja? Anybody? I think Pantoja. Pantoja's dangerous, dude. Especially saw his last fight against Alex Perez, which Alex Perez, once again, a fight getting canceled. But this time was actually, I'm not this time. I'm sure every time it's been serious, but he had some sort of seizure backstage. But you training / fighting in MMA instead of just talking about it. Maybe at some point. I was thinking about that the other day. Maybe. Don't think so though. I just wanted to hear one of Jan's screams again. ACL. Well, I first of all, let me say about the training thing. I don't know. I don't really want to do it because, first of all, I don't really want to record at my gym anyway. But second of all, I don't. I just do it like, I don't want to say like for fun, but whatever. Like, it's not like a content sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe I would. I'm not gonna say no, but I just wanted to hear one of Jan's screams again. Yeah, that was a legendary scream. Pause. It sounded like I'm just chatting crazy. I think Pantoja definitely gives Moreno a good fight and a high chance of winning. Yeah, man. Pantoja is dangerous on the feet, on the submission game. I think though Moreno could win. I think I might pick Moreno, but I think if there's anybody, I think Pantoja. Did I pick Pantoja? I think I picked Pantoja to win. I think I picked Pantoja as a champ by the end of the year. Oh, no. I don't think I did pick a flyweight, did I? Let's watch. You know what? Would y'all let me know if y'all want to watch the video of me predicting the champs. You know what? Actually, I won't watch it, but I'm going to just go through it. Like, I'm just going to tell you what it is right now, unless you guys tell me to. Oh my god. Oh, women's division. I did pick women's champions. Zhang Weili I picked as. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fight Valentina next. Maybe they do Manon and Grasso. And the casual, to be honest, just now know who his Pantoja is. Yeah, definitely. Hey, no shame here. Everyone's a casual at some point, so don't feel no shame. Just definitely watch his performance against Perez. Alex Perez happened. It was in July. Crazy performance. Pantoja. I'm wrong. I was gonna say he didn't beat Moreno, right? I think I'm thinking of Askarov, who didn't beat Moreno, but he had a draw with him. Pantoja. Let me look up his record. Alexander Pantoja. We beat Brandon Royval, Manal Cape. Askarov lost to Davison Figueiredo. He did beat Moreno. I was right. He did beat Moreno. What was it by 30-27? What was it? I'm trying to fucking see. I'm trying to see this shit, bro. Hold up, guys. Oh, here. 10-8 for Pantoja, 10-9, 10-9, yeah, so it's 30-26. Oof. 30-26 he did to Brandon Moreno. So, But obviously, Brandon Moreno's much improved since then, so it's a little difficult. Like, I believe that was when he was cut, before he was cut from the UFC. So, right? Or something like this. Yeah, before he was cut from the UFC. And then he came back a year later. That might have been his last performance when they cut him. Pantoja. Yeah, that was right before they cut him. That's his last fight. It was then he went to LFA, and then he went back to the UFC. Interesting. Jan should go to Glory or something where there's 12 rounds. Yeah, that's the thing is, like, with boxing, like I said, there's 12 rounds. You can give up a few of those early rounds. Not that I would suggest you doing that, but it's a lot better. But, you know. Who is your favorite fighter of all time to watch? Charles Oliveira right now. I mean, I like watching John Jones fighting, honestly. He fights very beautifully. Like, I hate saying fighting beautifully now, especially since that dude asked that at the press conference. What an oddball that guy was. But, yeah, I would say John Jones. Especially, I remember the first time I watched him fight Shogun Rua. When I watched that fight, I was like, holy lord. Like, I was, like, floored. Like, he killed that man. Like, he did nasty. Like, the thing about John, that why he's so good, and obviously I think it kind of leads to his other problems in life, I feel like he's sick as hell, dude. Like, I feel like he's, I don't want to say evil, but I feel like he has problems. Like, I feel like he fights with every intention to, like, hurt you. Like, he does things that you're just like, what the hell? Like especially in that Shogun fight, like, just the vicious knees to, like, the head and elbows and everything like that. It's just, like, I was cringing watching that performance just because, like, that's just pain right there. But that's basically what I thought. You know, I think John is my favorite of all time, or Oliver. Oliver, every fight that he's been has been entertaining, except for, I guess, arguably the Tony Ferguson fight. But, you know, especially that whole 12-fight win streak, or whatever fight win streak that he had. Your favorite all time? I mean, I'm sorry, I just fucking read that. I'm an idiot. Hey, Jack, yo, Sandman dominated that fight. I wasn't expecting that. No, I was, to be honest. I thought it was gonna go that way. Like I said, usually Marlon Vera's losing the fight up until he gets to the finish. Let's be honest. And I didn't think he'd be able to finish it. I thought, because Cory's a fresh dude, he has a chin. We've seen him get hit with big shots, especially, like, late in fights. I thought he'd be fine. I did put a little money, though, on Marlon Vera, 5th round TKO KO, because you never know with that guy. He just does things at any point. What do Cory has to do to get a tail shot now? I think, it does, I guess you mean. I think, like I said, I think the game plan is this. Fight Merab in the summer. I think the UFC, the problem is the UFC has to get on board with this. I think you should fight Merab in the summer. If Aljo beats Cejudo, he fights O'Malley, vacates. The winner of that fights, maybe they do O'Malley again, just give him another title shot. Maybe they, who knows what the division will look like in 8 months or whatever this would happen by. So, could be that. I think that's what the game plan is there. As someone did say, which I don't mind the matchup, Cory versus O'Malley. That's a fun, striking match, because they're both the tallest dudes in the bantamweight division, I believe, right now, 5'11", and Cory's really big for the weight class. I mean, O'Malley's pretty skinny, but yeah, like, Cory is a big dude for the weight class. I don't know how he makes that weight. It's probably hard as shit. Weight bully? No. He's so big. He'd definitely go to featherweight. By looks at me, go to fucking lightweight, honestly. But yeah, I would probably favor O'Malley. I mean, I'd probably favor Sandhagen. So I think the next fights are pretty clear. Cory fights Marab. Vera fights Piotr. Vera and Piotr were supposed to fight last year in August instead of Cruz. I think he opted out to fight O'Malley. Makes sense. It's the big name fight. So, but let me talk about the rest of the card because I'm going to go in like 20 minutes or so. But I always say, for those of you guys that haven't watched my streams before, but it seems like a lot of you guys have, I recognize a lot of you guys, I always say, I'm wrapping up 20 minutes. And last time I said that when there was like 15 minutes left, and I think I ended the stream like 2.5 hours. So don't take me serious when I say that. The chat just has to be popping for me to continue. So what are some other highlights? Obviously, Macy Barber, absolute insane 30-27. Didn't mind her winning necessarily, but I thought she won, but 30-27 was just a little insane to me, a little crazy. Other performances: CJ Vergara versus Lacerda. What's his name? First name. Oh my goodness. UFC. Okay. Daniel D. Silva. What the fuck was I talking about? Lacerda. Am I tripping? Who was Lacerda? I could have sworn his name was Lacerda. Don't tell me there's no Lacerda. That was just tripping. I really was just tripping. Am I wrong? Wasn't his name Lacerda? I feel like I'm totally getting lied to. I swear to God on the broadcast his name was Daniel Lacerda. Now it's Daniel D. Silva. Or Daniel De Silva. What the fuck? I could have fucking sworn. I'm looking at another record thing. Yeah, De Silva. Don't you guys know if I'm tripping or not? But yeah, I'll catch up in the chat in a second. So, like I said, I like that fight. The fight, obviously, with the massive comeback of CJ Vergara. That was interesting there. And let me look. Wait, hold on. Honestly, just to remind myself. Trevin Giles, winning a decision, but that was a split decision too, right? Wasn't it? Although I guess the first round was pretty close. But now I'm thinking about it. So I don't mind. Split decision. That was a pretty close fight. Obviously Holly Holm we talked about a little bit. Didn't think the performance was so impressive, but the opponent wasn't so impressive. So, but I like I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see them put her against Pennington. They do Aldana versus Nunez, especially since with the whole Mexico thing going on now, with all the champions becoming all the champions being Mexican. Really wouldn't be surprised. Nate. Oh yeah, Nate the Train. Good performance from him. Someone just put Lacerda, making me trip out even more. Let me see. What's up, dude? Do you think Hamza versus Jurgis would be a fun fight? Yeah, that would be. I mean, I'm interested in any fight out middleweight. I'm interested in Hamza just fighting, dude. Hamza's got to fight. I don't buy this whole everyone's ducking him. I believe he can get a fight. If he really wants to fight, I believe there's plenty of dudes that are game to fight him. I think Neil Magny would fight him. I think I don't know if Colby would fight him. I don't think Colby will fight him, but I think there's a lot of dudes in the top 5. Bilal was willing to fight him in Abu Dhabi. That didn't happen. He wanted to fighting Nate Diaz, but he wanted to fight him in Abu Dhabi. Bilal. I don't think he's ever making 170 again, but Paulo is down to fight him. I think he'll probably fight Paulo next. You guys can see my video. I broke down why I think he's going to be fighting Paulo as well as when, so go check that out. I think Robert Whitaker would be down. I really have a hard time buying this whole thing. And I saw Emmett Guru's video on this, and he said something that kind of simplified this whole Hamzat situation. He calls out dudes that don't want to fight, or dudes that can't fight, don't want to fight, whatever you want to say. Alex Pereira, He's not fighting Alex Pereira at 205 pounds. Like, that fight makes no sense. Like, the UFC was never trying to make that fight. Like, he 100% has that point. Like, dead ass. Like, he is not trying to fucking... Like, that fight was never in the works. He was supposed to fight Robert Whittaker. Said, oh, he's a nice guy. I don't want to fight him. Then, Paulo's there. He's like, oh, Paulo's ducking me. I don't even know. Just fight somebody, dude, at this point. Like, fight. Like, it's getting annoying. This whole charade. It reminds me of, like, this whole Tyson Fury thing that's going on with him. Talking about Usyk, talking to him when clearly he's the problem. Like, we all know the truth here. Just fucking fight someone or don't. Like, just, I'm getting sick and tired of Hamzat just being like, and I like Hamzat, but I'm just getting sick and tired of him being like, oh, let me fight this guy. You're not fighting anybody. You're not fighting anybody. No one is ducking you. You're not fighting anybody. You haven't fought since September. You took no damage. I have a hard time believing you haven't gotten a fight in, what, like 8 months or something like that? 6 months? Maybe I'm just exaggerating 8 months, but 6 months? You could have gotten a fight by now. And you can't make 170. You weighed in 8 pounds. Like, this guy is like the king of gaslighting. He weighs in 8 pounds over the limit and then acts like everyone else is the problem. Like, that's the thing I loved about Hamzat. He missed weight. Normally people are like, oh, I'm sorry about it, whatever. His response is, I don't care any weight, brother. Like, come on. I tried to do like a little Swedish accent on that, but it doesn't work like that. Like, I understand if the other guy weighed in over the limit, you're like, oh, whatever weight, I don't care. It doesn't really work like that. It's clearly not whatever weight because you couldn't make 170. So, that's just my thoughts on that. Let's see. I'm going to read the chat in a second. But yeah, that'd be a fun fight, Hamzat and Truckus. Paulo, I'd rather Paulo, though. I don't think it's a good idea for Aljo to move up. I don't see him having a lot of success with those guys. Me neither. I think I said this last week. Me neither. Don't think that's the move, especially Volkanovski. He's a big dude. We just saw he did well at lightweight against Islam Makhachev. He's the champ, so imagine. I don't even know. I don't even know how he would win that fight. Volk is so fast. You can't even beat. Normally, I'd be like, maybe be faster than him. I don't even think that's true. Volk is so fast. I really don't see Aljo winning that fight at all, to be honest. I don't know, man. And he's got the cardio, too. We've seen Aljo. Aljo hasn't struggled as of late with the cardio, but we did see him in the but I think it was like the Pioriana and a few of the other fights that he had struggled with. I don't think it's a good idea at all. I 100% agree with you. Did you watch Plant vs. Benavidez? I did. I didn't watch the beginning. I catch the end of it. A very fun fight. Obviously, there was like a big rivalry. I don't think I was as excited as a lot of people were. And usually I'm a bigger boxing guy. Just, man, the politics of boxing just fucking ruined the sport for me. So, I kind of lose interest now in boxing in general. Even if a fight is happening, I'm just like, whatever. Matt Hughes' resume versus Kamaru Usman's resume at welterweight. You'd have to say Kamaru Usman's resume just because, Matt Hughes' resume is from like almost 20 years ago. Let me look him. Let me compare. I know obviously Kamaru Usman's resume, but let me see. Hughes. He almost got submitted by Carlos Newton. Thank you for subscribing. Send flowers. I appreciate the love. I see you have a message there, which I'm better. Let me just read this message. Been silently watching for a while now. Just saw you live and wanted to pop in and say keep it up. And I hope you have a great Sunday, homie. See you at the top. Yeah, thank you. Like I said, I know there's a lot of people that watch silently, don't comment, and it's crazy to me because like I was definitely one of those dudes. Like I would have a lot of like smaller YouTubers that would religiously watch, like, and not comment. And it's just like, yeah, like I appreciate you commenting. I appreciate the sub. By the way, thank you for the for the nice. You see, I told you guys, like the subscribers do come up, so I appreciate the love. from you. But to answer the Matt Hughes question, I mean, he arguably did get submitted by Carlos Newton, debatably, right? I mean, and then he lost. He beat GSP. Did lose to BJ Penn, which BJ Penn obviously is a really good lightweight. He beat Royce Gracie. I forgot about that. He lost to Matt Serra. Didn't really retire at like a bad time. I feel like he retired at a pretty good time. Well, I had 2 losses in a row, both in the first round. His wrestling was insane, though. I don't know if he was on that juice, but his wrestling was insane. So that would be pretty. I think a fight between him and Usman. I think Usman would win just because of his wrestling defense and the striking. I think he's a better striker, but his wrestling was crazy. He's underrated in the talk of like top 5 welterweights. He's definitely, in my opinion, in the top 5. Like, watch, if it wasn't for GSP, I think a lot of people would talk more about Matt Hughes just because and even Matt Hughes beat GSP. Let's talk about that. He beat GSP, submitted him in the first round. You know? Very, very, I think a lot of people sleep on him. A lot of people sleep on him in the top 5 discussion. Go back and watch UFC 30. You know, look at him winning the title against Carlos Newton. Arguably did get submitted in that fight, but it's a fun fight. You should definitely go watch it. Sandhagen versus O'Malley would be really fun. I know that's a fun fight. Both tall dudes, both strikers. Could imagine though Cory going for a few takedowns in there. O'Malley though has pretty good takedown defense, so we'll see. Seriously, fight anybody. Oh, yeah, I assume that's about Hamzat. Isn't it crazy how many fans Bilal has gained by not getting a fight instead of his unbeaten streak? Because instead of his I don't think he's honestly gained too many fans. If I'm gonna be honest, I just don't think too many people care. I think most people have said, like, look, I think everyone's in agreement. Colby doesn't deserve the title shot, but it's gonna be fun as hell for him to get the title shot. I think it's gonna be fun. I think they should probably have just waited for the Jorge fight. Don't know what's going on. That's a weird situation. Oh my god, I thought of something the other day and I was gonna make a video about it. My conspiracy. I think, and maybe I'll make a video about it. Maybe I'll save it for a video. But I like you guys. I'll give it to you here. I was thinking about it because this whole situation is weird with Colby, from him weighing in secretly to the whole thing has changed. I have a lot of evidence for this. Should I fucking just save it for it? No, I'll do it here and I'll make a video maybe because I don't even know if we'll come around to it. I think Kamaru was injured going into the fight. And I think there was talks in the fight week of him not making it. I think his coaches told the UFC, like, hey, like, I don't know if you can compete. And Ngannou came out flat out and said he was injured. He flat out said he wasn't even able to train. Which it could be, him and Ngannou are friends. Don't think that is something they'll lie about, though. So I think they called Colby in a panic. They were like, Colby, like, you need to come out. Colby was probably not totally on board being a replacement, and was like, and he's like, if I get the next title shot, I'll do it. I think maybe something like that went down, and I don't think the UFC are one to disclose injuries of other fighters. Probably, that's what I think happened. I think they called him and was like, hey, like, we need you to fill in just in case something happens. Didn't say necessarily Kamaru, but he basically was like, they were desperate, and basically agreed because they were desperate. Where do you rank Cejudo all time? What are your chances against Aldo? That's the thing about bantamweight is, if Aldo beats Cejudo, he's arguably up there for one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. In my opinion, it's Dominic Cruz. I think it's Dominic Cruz is the greatest bantamweight of all time, but there isn't no concise GOAT. You know, like a welterweight is like GSP, lightweight a lot of it's Habib or BJ Penn. Featherweight seems to be, I don't know. Featherweight isn't an easy one to do either, but that's a topic for another day. 185 Silva, you know, there's plenty of debate. There's plenty of concise GOATs, and I think Aljo could be up there, but Cejudo. So let me throw out. So there's. I feel like I'm missing someone when I'm talking about greatest bantamweights of all time. There's Cruz. I would say maybe second. Oh, TJ. That's what I'm missing. TJ gets disrespected, I know, because the EPO stuff. I have a video on that. But, yeah, I'd say second best. Second best, yeah. I know he beat Cruz, but if you're looking at their resume, BJ Penn was a beast. Yeah, he was. At least in his prime. Yeah. I mean, not going up to welterweight and TKOing. He was almost the first champ if he would have kept the belt, or not kept the belt, but you know what I mean. He was almost the first champ. So that goes something. But yeah, he went up 15 pounds or whatever, and knocked out Matt Hughes in the first round. Crazy. At least in prime, we're from Grace. Yeah, super disappointing. Super disappointed in Cheeto. He's my favorite fighter in the UFC right now. He looked off the minute he walked out. Yeah, I like Cheeto, but like I said in the video, the breakdown video, he seems to have a habit of just losing the fight up until that finish. So, it sucks for him. But, you know, I was. It would have been fun if he won, because yes, Cory did get dominated for Aljamain, but I do like Cory, so don't mind necessarily there. I was just surprised. A lot of people, I think, aren't paying attention necessarily to the fights. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying like a lot of people picked Vera. I thought this should have been like a minus 300 for Sandhagen. Or not minus. I think I'm dragging it. Like minus 200. I think it should have been. Minus 300 is a bit of an exaggeration, but minus 200. And I thought that from the always, not just because I've seen the fight now. I thought that from the beginning. It makes me feel old thinking about Matt Hughes being one of my first favorite fighters. Yeah. No, but that he's disrespected Matt Hughes. He should definitely be up there for greatest welterweight. Look at his run, his dominance, crazy. He submitted GSP in the first round. Just by that, I think he's in the top 5. I don't want to say he's the third. Maybe he's the fourth. Yeah, maybe third or fourth. I don't know. Let me ask you guys. Would you put Woodley above Hughes? Prime Woodley? I don't know. I feel Prime Woodley was short-lived. Like, I feel it's a short prime. Sub Peter. I was just thinking, honestly, where Peter was. I'm not even lying. I was like, oh, he's not here arguing this time with Strickland's burner or whatever the hell. But I'm about to wrap up soon, so he came at a late time. Let me see. Thoughts on Kamaru's shocking BJJ in this fight? It's almost no threat with subs. He looks deeply prone to subs. I wouldn't say he looks. If you're trying to say that he could get submitted easily, I don't think so. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think so at all. No. To be fair, though, we haven't really seen him in a position where he's at bottom, except for the Leon Edwards fight, where, credit to Leon, he did get his back. So maybe you do have a point, but it's one of those things that we haven't really seen him be on the bottom for too long. So. You honestly think they'll strip Leon if I decide who I fight? No, I don't think they'll strip Leon. I think that'll just be whack as hell. I think everyone will be like, that sucks. Because, what the fuck? We're just going to have a pointless vacant title fight. I think he probably fights. I think they'll probably make interim title fight. It's the only thing is I wouldn't be surprised him to be a little more desperate, because like with the Derek Lewis fight, it was still like I equate this to Francis Ngannou when he was like, I just want more time to fight Derek Lewis. I don't remember if it was because of pay or something like that, but he wanted to fight him in September. They wanted it in August. They wouldn't budge. Basically made the interim title fight, right? But Sandhagen was interesting. He's a striker. It's a fun fight. But Bilal versus Colby, I mean, I feel like that's a little more sellable, and I think Bilal's doing a good job being out there on social media. And because of the shit talk back and forth now with him and Colby, it's a little bit of a sellable fight now than it was maybe a week ago, since we've seen him talk a lot of shit. I thought this rematch happens too soon. I also heard Usman was hurt and barely trained now, has a mark on his legacy due to ego and not just rescheduling. Yeah, I guess you could say it's from ego, but it's also, yeah, I mean, it's fair enough to say it's from ego. I do have a lot of respect for it, though. Subject, yeah, I was working with my dad. Had to leave again, and have to leave again in 30 minutes. Well, long day. I noticed you were streaming, so I stopped by to say, hey, what's up, Peter? Like I said, though I am about to wrap up in a couple minutes. I'm going to see if there's any last chats, but overall, like I said, I'm going to talk more about the Leon situation, then I'll probably end this. Think Leon should have went about it, been like, hey, UFC, like, I don't want to fight this guy. The guy has been not fighting. I don't want to reward that. And to be fair, look, on Colby's defense, I don't think he was sitting there declining fights for no reason. I think Dana White did say he always jumped. I don't necessarily think he was injured, because you can't be injured from being jumped for that long, right? I wouldn't think. Maybe he had a concussion, but he didn't even get dropped. If you look at the report, apparently it was so shocking that he took that big of a punch and didn't get dropped. So, don't know. It's such a weird situation. If I were to take a guess, I would probably say he didn't fight too, because, obviously the whole lawsuit trying to get money. But weighing in his back, I don't know. The whole thing is difficult, because you could probably make more money from the lawsuit. Video about Vera versus Sandhagen soon, because I don't think anyone expected Cory to dominate the fight. I thought Cory was going to dominate the fight. I almost said it in my video. I should have said it in my video, but then if I said it in my video, it wouldn't have happened. Every time I've said, oh, this person's going to dominate the fight, I've been wrong. Valentin Shevchenko didn't dominate. Petr Yan didn't dominate. So, we'll talk about it in the video. I have to make a Q&A. I don't know when I'm going to do that. If Aljo beats Cejudo, is he bantamweight GOAT or in discussion to be the? I just said, yeah. I said I think you just got here. I said it like a couple minutes ago, like 10 minutes ago or so. I think if he beats him, then definitely, because there isn't such like a consensus GOAT in the bantamweight division. So, I think right now it goes, my opinion, Cruz. I think it goes Cruz, Cejudo, and TJ. Top three. Although you can go Renan Barão in there, but I guess then you'd have to put him at number 4 because TJ beat him. Do Renan Barão. Yo, what's up, Rudy? 1 GSP, 2 Usman, 3 Matt Hughes, 4 Woodley, 5 Robbie Lawler. No, oh, Matt Hughes is in there. Yeah, I'm done. I don't know Matt Hughes. Yeah, I don't disagree with that ranking. Robbie Lawler. Is there anyone else I would put above Robbie Lawler? I think Leon at the end of his career will go down higher than Lawler. Maybe. Could be wrong, though. Yo, my boy, what's up? Yeah, you're right. Pick Cory 49-46, but those rounds weren't close. I expect Cheeto to at least get. I did, yeah, that is true. I said, hey, I expect that Cory would get hurt at some point. Never really did happen, but I did expect him to hurt Cory at some point. So that is true. Let's go, Jack. What's up? Cejudo over TJ? Yeah, I'd probably say because I don't want to say because the EPO stuff, but also because he didn't really have like a long title defenses, and maybe you could have if that whole EPO situation didn't go down. Maybe he would have been the champion for a lot longer. Regardless, though, it didn't happen. I don't know what's up with Cheeto. I thought he was preserving energy, but he never exploded. He's just a slow starter, guys. Like I said, and I don't know. I mean, I think too, fighting someone as tall as Cory is hard to enter. as easily as other opponents. Like Frankie, I think he had the height advantage, or around the same height. I know him and Rob Vaughn are about the same height. And who did he fight last? Cruz and him are around the same height. I think Leon's already over Lawler because 2 wins over Usman is worth more than Hendricks, Rory, or Condit. I wouldn't say that. I mean, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, yeah, nowadays, but at the time, don't disrespect those guys. Because Condit, first of all, Hendricks debatably beat GSP. I mean, not debatably. He didn't beat GSP, but I think most people agree that he beat GSP. Rory, very good. And Condit knocked down GSP pretty bad. Hurt him really bad in that round. Did get dominated the whole rest of the fight, but still. And to be fair, to your point though, I wouldn't necessarily say Leon is over, because that the argument to make is Leon is over that because Lawler had competitive wars with them. Right, with Hendricks, it was competitive. He lost the first fight. Rory, obviously, that was a war. Condit, another war. You could argue that, I think, instead of saying, oh, because those names aren't valuable. I think you should argue, like, hey, like, he went into wars with them. They were close fights. So if you want to say, like, oh, he was, that's to me why I was kind of saying, like, is there anyone else I could put above Lawler? Because, just because of that reason alone. And Lawler, I mean, he did lose to Woodley. That was kind of great. Sean or Cheeto in a rematch. I guess I would say Sean. I think a lot of people. Yes, because I think I like Cheeto more than anybody, but I think a lot of people put a lot of stake in that first fight. Truth is look, Sean's leg was fucked up. You could tell. So I think in a rematch it's very different. I mean, yeah, those are good wins by Lawler, but I think having 2 wins over Usman is insane. He is the only fighter to beat him in the UFC, but Lawler does have good wins. Well, I would say let's hold off on that because Usman hypothetically could lose his next 5 fights. We've seen it before. We saw with Woodley, he lost to Kamaru dominantly. Then lost the rest of his fights. We could see that same thing happen. It's also another thing, like Usman's old. I think he's turning 36, if not already 36. He's getting older. So let's hold off on that. It's not like, for all we know, this isn't a prime Usman. And it's I think he was injured going into the fight. There's a lot of rumors, and usually where there's smoke, there's fire somewhere. So we'll see. I think though I would hold off on that. Let's see if he beats Colby. I think we could talk. I think arguably, I think if you're gonna go, I wouldn't do that. I'm not saying but I think arguably you put Colby above Lawler. Arguably, I don't agree though. I would say Lawler. I think Lawler. Yeah. How about Cowboy getting inducted in the Hall of Fame though? Kind of makes the whole not bringing Anderson for years kind of look bad, with them bringing in Aldo and all of them now. Not that they don't deserve it, but how did they not put Anderson in earlier? I like Cheeto's calm demeanor. It's an important thing, but he just waits too long looking for his big moments. Yeah, that's the thing is when you're looking, and I hate to equivalate this to the Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight, but I said this in the same fight. I said if you're fighting with the game plan of hey, I'm just gonna catch him. If that doesn't work, you're gonna lose, and that's what I thought was gonna happen with Cory. I think Cory was gonna rack up the rounds and not get caught because he's young, has the chin, and fresh. Dominic Cruz, Frankie Edgar, Rob Vaughn have all had long careers. Like I said in my video, took in plenty of damage. So that's why I think I'm hold off. Let's wait till a fresh contender comes along like Cory. But I agree, it's good to be calm, but I think he just needs to be a little more ambitious. But I think Vera will learn that. Piotr hasn't learned that for some reason, but my opinion. Yeah, we should wait, but I think if he beats Colby the same way he did Usman, I think there won't be a debate probably. Bantamweight or featherweight, if the UFC had to cut one, oh my god, both divisions are great. Probably go featherweight though at the moment, because Volk could go up to lightweight, Max could go up to lightweight. So, and then who else do you really have? Yair. I mean, yeah, I like Yair, but I think Yair's really, Ilya, but Ilya's fought at lightweight too, so you wouldn't be getting rid of him all the way. Bryce Mitchell, I mean, when's the last time that he fought? Oh, he fought in December. It wasn't that long ago. He fought 4 months ago. Oh, no, doesn't he have a fight announcement? Who's Bryce Mitchell fighting? I feel like he's fighting someone. I feel like I just shitted on him for no reason. Oh, my God. Thug Nasty. Upcoming bout, yeah. Jonathan Pierce. New kid on the block. I don't know what you mean. But yeah, I would probably say featherweight. If you had to cut one, featherweight. Not that I want to cut any, but if you had to cut one, yeah, I would probably pick that as well. I scored 50-45. Yeah, I think you could. I scored at 40 down 46. I gave Vera, I believe, the third round. The round that you landed, that was a big one too. And I was like, is momentum going to get on the side of Marlon Vera? Is Cory slow? If you're watching the fight, was like, is Cory going to slow down because of the wrestling? Because, you're doing a striker's wrestling. He's not used to it. He's getting tired. I could very much see that happening with giving you 50-45. But I was like, I remember him getting that big one too, being like, what's up? I thought he was like maybe getting momentum back on his side. I thought maybe this would be a pretty close decision, but then back to dominance from Cory. Hey, bro, what you think about? Who the hell is that? A lot of fights were canceled. The Alex Perez fight was canceled. That was a fight I was looking forward to. If Henry beats Aljo, Henry versus O'Malley or Merab. They're probably gonna give it to O'Malley because they already have beef, I believe. And I'm looking at the guy who told me, Inshul Jubilee. Who is he? I don't know. I haven't really heard of him. Just learned about him. Yeah, I think they'll probably do O'Malley versus Henry, because remember they had the whole back and forth at International Fight Week last year. That seems to be the fight to make. I think probably O'Malley's getting the next one, and then I think if Vera won, this situation becomes 10 times more complicated. But I think because Cory won, Merab doesn't seem to want to fight Aljo. If Aljo wins or loses, I think they should probably do O'Malley. Merab versus Cory. The winner of that fights for the title. And the bantamweight division is finally back. The bantamweight division, there's no more problems, because we just had this problem since TJ. No offense to TJ, because at the end of the day, it was for him. I don't blame him for trying to fight, but he fucked it up, the division. This whole division's backed up because of him, and we'll be back. I think it'll be back by the end of the year. We'll have a clear champion, clear contender, not multiple contenders. So that works out. But I'm going to wrap up the stream here. Thank you guys for watching. I always have fun. Tomorrow we're going to be back with a video. I don't know if it'll be a Q&A, because I have quite a few questions. I haven't done a Q&A in a bit. So I didn't do it last week because of the pay-per-view, and then I didn't do it this week because I couldn't film a video on Friday. Guys, imagine Sean versus Cory. Nah, Sean versus Cory would be fire. I'm not going to lie. How much of a chance do you give Ilya versus Volk? Too hard to tell. we're gonna see. I wouldn't imagine. I mean, that fight would be a banger because they're both, like I said, tall strikers. I give Cory the edge, though. I think I talked about it enough on the stream, but yeah, I give that. Yo, if you need someone, first of all, bro, your channel is dope. Thank you. Thank you very much. Atomic. Yo, if you need someone to edit your shorts, yeah, credit. If I edit one After Effect, I'm a huge fan. I mean, email my the management email on my channel, and we'll see what's up. I'll look at it. But I'm about to wrap up. I almost forgot to ask you: have you had a chance to watch some Soldic fights? Yeah, I did actually. The only problem is, like, I feel like he's running down the clock. He's got to get in the UFC quick, like within the next year. I feel like after that, I feel like he's gonna be a little bit older. Then by the time he fights actual ranked dudes. Jack, please do your dance. I have no dance. Zero dance. When we hit 20K, I'll do a dance. How about that? But yeah, like I said, thank you guys for watching. We're gonna wrap things up in a second. Hold up right now. Honestly, I did it at an awkward time. So it's only 28. Oh, maybe I'm confusing him. I thought he was like 30. I thought he was 30. Okay, then he's got time. For some reason, I think I mixed them up. My bad. But we're going to wrap up the stream. Thank you, everyone that tuned in. We'll be back. Every Sunday we do a stream. Oh, no. Next Sunday, I forgot to tell you guys, I'm not going to be doing a stream. But a video will be out. So don't worry about that. There will be a video instead of a stream. But we'll be back in... Well, I'll probably stream before that. I'll probably stream sometime. Make up for it. Don't worry, guys. I'll probably do that at night, though. I'm a stream. And, yeah, so sorry. Good thing I remember that. Next week, no stream. Totally forgot. Next week, April 2nd, no stream. But there's no UFC event, so who cares? So, good time to not be able to stream. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be in New York, so. But I'll have a video scheduled, so don't worry. I'll have a video scheduled for Sunday. Yeah, Rob's going. Yeah, you have a good one as well. Thank you, Rudy, for tuning in once again. See you next time, Jack. Goodbye. Thank you guys all for supporting. Love you all. I'll see you guys in the next one.